Good morning, one and all. I welcome you all to Ganesh IAS Academy. In today's session, we'll be seeing environment-based current affairs from the date November 10th to November 16th, 2023. Let us get into the news articles one by one. The first news that we are going to discuss for today is Gundla Brahmeswaram Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so why is this sanctuary in news and what is its significance and what are all the important points that we have to study about this particular sanctuary? All these details, let us understand one by one. Okay, so why is it in the news? Over 50 grass species were identified during a 2-day workshop and survey on grasses identification and grassland management. That was the survey conducted, and it was conducted at Gundla Brahmeswaram Wildlife Sanctuary, and this Gundla Sanctuary is a part of Nagarjuna Sagar Sri Sailam Tiger Reserve, which is again important. Okay, so questions like this may be asked that this particular sanctuary is a part of which of the following tiger reserves or which of the following national parks. Okay, so this Gundla Brahmeswaram Wildlife Sanctuary is a part of Nagarjuna Sagar Sri Sailam Tiger Reserve. Okay, and then the grass species that were identified include some of the rare findings like Oryza officinalis. Okay, so what is this Oryza officinalis? It is wild rice, and they have also found other grass species like wild ragi and wild maize also. Okay, these were the important findings of this particular study. And then this Nagarjuna Sagar Tiger Reserve comprises two sanctuaries. So yet another factual information that is being added here. Okay, so it contains two sanctuaries. One is this Rajiv Gandhi Wildlife Sanctuary, and then the next one is this Gundla Brahmeswaram Wildlife Sanctuary, which is our study now. Okay, so it also includes Rajiv Gandhi Wildlife Sanctuary, which must be remembered. Okay, what else do we have to understand? We have to get into the details of what this sanctuary is. That study is done and they have found more than 50 species of grass. Okay, so that is the background. With that background, we have to understand what this wildlife sanctuary is. Where is it located? What are all the important flora and fauna found in this wildlife sanctuary? All these details we must have to understand. Let us see. So this sanctuary is located in the Nalamala forest. Okay, important. It is located in the Nalamala forest. Where in which state? In Andhra Pradesh. Okay, important. In Kurnool district of Andhra Pradesh, and then it is located between two hill passes. What are they? One is this Mantra Lama Kanuma and then Nandi Kanuma. Kanuma here means passes. Okay, like we say Ghat, right? Ghat means passes. Or in North India, like they call it La. La means process. Natula, Bomdila, Shipkila. Okay, so all these are in North India, and Ghats is the term which is used in the Deccan part. Okay, Ghats, Western Ghats, Pal Ghat, Bor Ghat, Harichandra Ghat. Okay, similarly, we also have this name Kanuma in the state of Andhra Pradesh. That is, one is this Mantralama Kanuma and then Nandi Kanuma. Between these two passes, this particular wildlife sanctuary is located. And then the northern part of the sanctuary is an important part of this tiger reserve. That is Nagarjuna Sagar Sri Sailam Tiger Reserve. Northern part, that is also important. And then there is one river inside this sanctuary which flows through this sanctuary. That is Gundla Kamma River. Okay, so the name is repeating here. Okay, it is Gundla Brahmeswaram Wildlife Sanctuary, and the name of the river here is Gundla Kamma River. Okay, all these details we must have to know because questions like this are being asked. Okay, so if they ask you about a particular protected area, say a wildlife sanctuary or national park or biosphere reserve or whatever it is, they are also asking its locational features and the rivers which are flowing through it, what are all the flora and fauna present in that particular protected area. All these details we must have to understand. Okay, so what else should we see? This sanctuary was declared in the year 1990. Okay, and then this sanctuary got its name from Gundla Brahmeswaram plateau. So from that plateau only it has got its name. So since it lies in the Deccan Plateau region, there are many different plateaus in the Deccan Plateau region itself, like Bangalore Plateau, Telangana Plateau. Okay, likewise, this Gundla Brahmeswaram Plateau is also a small plateau area. Okay, Next is, what are all the flora and fauna found here? It contains 353 species of plants, which includes 10 critically endangered species also, okay, which is very important. And then there are also many mammals found here in this sanctuary. It includes langurs, panthers, tigers, rats, rusty spotted cat, Indian flying squirrel, okay, and then lesser woolly horseshoe bat, mouse deer, pangolin, samba deer, nilgai, bonnet macaques. So these are all the important heterotrophs or mammal varieties found in this particular wildlife sanctuary. So these details we must have to understand with respect to this sanctuary. The topic that we are going to discuss now is Pancorius sebastiani. Okay, so what is this Pancorius sebastiani? It is actually a new species of jumping spider. Where have they found this, or where have they identified this? Let us understand the details. So a new species of jumping spider, that is Pancorius sebastiani, which is named after a spider taxonomist who is no more. Okay, he is a late spider taxonomist. His name is P.A. Sebastian. Okay, so this spider has been named after him, and this was discovered in Shendurne, Shendurne Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so we must have to understand about yet another wildlife sanctuary also here, Shendurne Wildlife Sanctuary. Okay, so this new species, which belongs to Asian jumping spider, and it belongs to the genus Pancorius. Okay, that is why its name also includes Pancorius, genus name and then species name. That is how they are named, right? And then it belongs to a family called Salticidae. Important, okay. And then this Pancorius genus is primarily distributed in Southeast Asia. Very important locational feature, okay. So it is distributed in Southeast Asian countries, and then its distribution was earlier limited to east and northeastern regions of India only, but then now it has been found in the south also. That is why it is in the news. Earlier it was found in east and northeastern parts of India only. Okay, so if we say east, then it includes states like Odisha, West Bengal, Bihar and other things. Okay, and also the northeast areas. Okay, so it is now found in the southern region also. That is why we are giving importance to this particular topic, because it is found in the Shendure Wildlife Sanctuary of Kerala. Okay. Next, so an analysis of this Salticidae species in the country shows that only two states, which are the two states, West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, have reported the highest number of this species. Okay, while the others, including the harboring biodiversity hotspot, that is the Western Ghats and even the northeastern region, which are also biodiversity hotspots because they are having evergreen forest there. Wherever you find evergreen forest, tropical evergreen forest, then there will be highest biodiversity there. Okay, so even in those areas, this spider is few in number, whereas in other two states, that is West Bengal and Tamil Nadu, which are not a biodiversity hotspot when compared to Western Ghats or this northeastern states, they are having highest number of these spiders. Okay, which must be understood. Next, we have to get into the details of this wildlife sanctuary, that is Shendurne Wildlife Sanctuary. So it is a protected area in the Western Ghats region located in the Kollam district of Kerala, and then it comes under the control of Agastya Malai Biosphere Reserve. Okay, statements like these are very, very important with respect to, I mean, for your exams. Okay, and then it was established in the year 1984. So this sanctuary is a part of Agastya Malai Biosphere Reserves. There are 18 biosphere reserves in India, and this is one among them. Okay, and this Agastya Malai is actually in the border of Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Next is, the name of this sanctuary is actually a corruption of the name Sengurunji. Okay, which is a tree which is endemic to this region, this Western Ghats region. Okay, so from the name Sengurunji only, this Shendurne has evolved over time. Okay, and then this sanctuary has an artificial lake, important, and it is also surrounded by reservoir, that is Tenmalai Dam. Okay, So this artificial lake kind of question was also asked previously in UPSC. Okay, they asked whether Kodaikanal was artificial lake or not. I mean, the question was like this: which of the following is an artificial lake? And the options were given, and one of the options were Kodaikanal Lake of Tamil Nadu. Okay, so even here we have an artificial lake inside this wildlife sanctuary, and then this wildlife sanctuary is a treasure house of plant diversity. See how many plant species are here. 1,257 species of flowering plants belonging to more than 150 families are reported from this sanctuary, of which of this 1,257, 309 species are endemic to Western Ghats, which means they are found only in Western Ghats and nowhere else in the world. Okay, that is the term endemic means. Okay, so 309 species are found to be endemic to Western Ghats. And then bird species are also found here. Nearly 267 species of birds are found here, which includes migratory species, endemic species, and endangered species. So when all these varieties of species are found, it is a biodiversity hotspot for sure, and conservation efforts are needed. Okay, so this is what we need to know about this Chendurne Wildlife Sanctuary and the spider species that was found here. Next is tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest is also found here. So it covers the major area of this particular forest. Okay, so it includes tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. So evergreen forest is found in this particular wildlife sanctuary, and it has a presence of lion-tailed macaque, which is an endangered species. More number of lion-tailed macaque is there. And then this is very important, a brood of highly elusive nocturnal forest bird. The forest bird here is great-eared nightjar. Okay, why is it called great-eared nightjar? I mean, this was spotted for the first time in this sanctuary in South India. Okay, I mean in the state of Kerala. Okay, earlier it was found in Tamil Nadu region, but then it was found for the first time in Kerala in this particular sanctuary. And why is it called great-eared nightjar? Because it has two erect ear-like tufts of feathers, which is behind its eye, okay, on its head, okay. So that is why it is called as great-eared nightjar. It is a bird, okay. Next, the first ecotourism project in India was in this wildlife sanctuary only. That project is called as Tenmala Ecotourism Project, okay, and that is formulated in and around this wildlife sanctuary. Another important aspects of this sanctuary is that there is no sandalwood trees in this sanctuary, which is again important. Okay, it is a tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest, and there is no sandalwood found in this sanctuary. Okay, so all these details we must have to understand from exam point of view. The topic that we are going to discuss now is Elephant Corridors of India 2023. It is actually a report which was released by central government, and they have highlighted certain important points with respect to elephant corridors, and they have also raised concerns. Okay, based on this report, critics have raised concerns. Let us understand what this is. So, Elephant Corridors of India report was recently published by the central government, and several discrepancies have been identified in the recent report. What are they? We'll understand. Before that, what is an elephant corridor? It is a strip of land that enable elephant movement between two or more friendly habitats. Okay, if there is one habitat of elephant here and another habitat of elephant here, say two elephant reserves, okay, and there will be corridors for these elephants to move from one reserve to another reserve, or one habitat to another habitat. That corridor, that passage, a strip of land, is called as corridors. Okay, you must have to understand this. And then let us understand the highlights of this particular report, that is Elephant Corridors report of 2023. So the report highlighted a surge of 62 new corridors. So 62 new corridors have been, they evolved, have been created from 2010. So this is a 40% increase. This 62 number is actually 40% increase from this 2010 level, and at present there are 150 corridors across the nation. So how many elephant corridors are there India now it is 150. Important. Next is, let us understand other key findings of this report. One is West Bengal has the highest number of elephant corridors. Statements like this are important from exam point of view. So highest number of elephant corridors 26. That thus it constitutes, it contributes to 17% of the total number of corridors. Okay, so this 26 is 17% of 150, the total number. Okay, and then there are 4 regions that are classified. Okay, one is East Central region, and then Northeastern region, Northern region, and then Southern region. This is how the elephant corridor regions are classified. Okay, so the East Central region contributes to 35%, the maximum. Okay, with 52 corridors, and Northeastern region is in the second place with 32%, that is 48 corridors. And then the southern region has 32 elephant corridors, which contributes to 21% of the total. And then the northern India has the lowest count, that is 18 corridors, which amounts to 12% of the total. Okay, so this we need to understand, that East Central region has maximum number of elephant corridors, which is followed by Northeastern region, Southern region, and then the Northern region. This is the order. This order you must have to remember. Next is, elephants have expanded their range in certain areas. What are all the areas? They have expanded their range in Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, one, and also the southern Maharashtra, which is bordering Karnataka. These two areas, they have expanded range. More than that, their presence has been increased in areas like Madhya Pradesh within the Sanjay Tiger Reserve, and then Bandhavgarh area. In these regions also they have expanded their range. Moreover, northern Andhra Pradesh, even there the range has been expanded. Thus this will allow elephants from Odisha to move into Andhra Pradesh. So this is what we have to understand. So Vidarbha region, southern Maharashtra region, Madhya Pradesh, especially this Sanjay Tiger Reserve and Bandhavgarh region, and then the northern Andhra Pradesh. In all these areas, the elephant corridors have been expanded. So this we need to understand. Next, what are all the major discrepancies? We already saw in the first slide itself that there were discrepancies related to this report. Okay, so let us understand. Critics argue that initial significance of the corridors has been diluted. There were initial significance of this corridor. While these corridors were created, they were created for certain purpose, right? That purpose is being diluted. That is what the critics are saying. Why? That is because a trend is evolving, that a trend to label any area where elephants move as corridor. This should not be done, is what this critics are saying. Okay, so any area where elephants move from one place to another cannot be very randomly classified as an elephant corridor. There must be certain protection provided in that area. Only then it can be categorized as a elephant corridor. That is what their concern is, and this has led to classification of landscapes and habitats as corridors. Okay, so landscapes of elephant and habitats of elephants are actually not corridors. Okay, so just because these landscapes and habitats are also classified as corridors, there is increase in number of corridors. That is what they are saying. Okay, so the central government is saying that we have increased the number of corridors, but then the critics are countering it by saying that you are classifying even habitats and landscapes of elephant as corridors. Actually they are not. Okay, that is what their concern is. Next is, critics argue that the expansion of elephant ranges has also led to increased incidence of elephant deaths because of electrocution. Very important thing. And then they also fall into wells. Okay, randomly we cannot expand elephant ranges. Okay, there must be certain protection provided to them. They cannot be allowed into places where human activity is more. Okay, so because of that they are falling prey for this electrocution, and then there are also incidences where they fall into wells. Okay, small elephants, the baby elephants fall into wells. Okay, and then expansive corridors might escalate human elephant conflict. This is also happening when we are going to expand the number of corridors, then there are chances that they come in contact with humans, thus there will be human animal. Here the animal is elephant, human animal conflict. Okay, so this is what we need to know. What else? Project Elephant directives on elephant corridors. We already have Project Elephant, right? So this Project Elephant has given certain directives on elephant corridors. What are they? First thing is, in the year 2005-6, this Project Elephant has issued directives to states regarding elephant corridors. First is, it stated that corridors in the forest area should adhere to the rules outlined by this act, that is Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. This was the first directive given. The second directive is, the areas with revenue and private lands were instructed to comply with this act, that is Environment Protection Act of 1986, and they have to be protected as an eco-sensitive area. Important. Okay, so these areas with private lands must be categorized as, or must be considered as, an eco-sensitive area according to this act, that is Environment Protection Act of 1986, thus potentially prohibiting any red category industries in that area. Okay, where it has been categorized as eco-sensitive, then there is prohibition of red category industries, which means which emit a lot of polluting materials, okay, either in water or in the air. Okay, so these details we must have to understand. These were the directives given by Project Elephant in the year 2005 and 6 to the states. The topic that we are going to discuss now is 8-point action plan aligning with stage 4 of this graded response action plan. So what is this graded response action plan? We need to understand. And what are these 8-point action plan? Who has given that? And then why does it have to align with the stage 4 of this graph, that is graded response action plan? Let us understand each and everything in detail one by one. Why is it in the news in the first place? Okay, 8-point action plan. The Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and adjoining areas have invoked a 8-point action plan which aligns with stage 4 of this graph. Okay, and what was the aim of this initiative? It is to avert any additional decline in the region's air quality. Okay, so which region are they mentioning here? It is Delhi. Okay, National Capital Region and the adjoining areas. So in these areas there should not be any additional decline in the air quality. Okay, so that is why they have given this 8-point action plan which aligns with the the stage 4 of this graph. Okay, so now we have to understand graph. What is this graph or graded response action plan? So this graph consists of emergency measures designed to prevent the deterioration of air quality after reaching specific thresholds in these regions. Okay, after the air quality reaches specific thresholds, it may be different. Okay, at different times of the year. Okay, so after reaching certain thresholds, there will be certain actions taken, certain emergency responses will be taken. Okay, so those emergency measures are called as graded, okay, graded response action plan. And this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change notified this graph in the year 2017, and then the Commission for Air Quality Management in National Capital Region and adjoining areas, this is a body, okay, this is a commission which implements this graph. Important. So who has created this or who has notified this and who is the implementing agency, all these details we must have to know. What else do we have to understand? National Air Quality Index. This graph is actually based on this National Air Quality Index. So what is this National Air Quality Index and what are all the different categories under National Air Quality Index, and based on what this index is being calculated, we must have to know. Okay, so it was launched in the year 2014 with outline one number, one color, one description. This is the tagline for this air quality index. That is, they will be giving one number, it denotes one color, and then there is one description for that color. What is that? We'll understand that in the next slide. Okay, so this is for the common man to judge the air quality within his vicinity. Okay, just because, I mean, it shouldn't be too technical for a common man or a layman to understand all this. Okay, so that is why they have given such color coded descriptions. Okay, and then the measurement of air quality is based on 8 pollutants, very important. Okay, so what are all the 8 pollutants that is related to this air quality index? First is particulate matter PM10, and then particulate matter PM2.5 of different sizes. Okay, and then nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone, ammonia, and lead. These are all the 8 pollutants based on which this air quality index is measured. And then this air quality index has 6 categories of air qualities. What are they? Good, satisfactory, moderately polluted, poor, very poor, and severe. These are the 6 categories that we talked about, and all these 6 categories has colors. Okay, color codes. And then it has been developed by this Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, in consultation with IIT Kanpur and also other experts and environmentalists. Okay, so this is that air quality index, Central Pollution Control Board's air quality index. We have this color. Okay, that is 0 to 50. If the air quality is 0 to 50, then they call it good. 51 to 100 satisfactory, 101 to 200 it is moderate, 201 to 300 it is poor, 301 to 400 it is very poor, and 401 to 500 it is severe. Okay, so this is what we need to know with respect to air quality index, and based on this air quality index only that graded action plan is taken. Okay, so now our next thing that we are going to study is about the graded action plan and its different stages. Okay, so the stages and the restrictions provided. We already know good, satisfactory, moderate, moderately polluted, poor, very poor, and severe. These categories we already know, and the ranges also is mentioned here. So what is first stage? If the air quality index is between 201 to 300, then that is first stage. If the first stage, I mean if it has crossed this limit, then agencies are mandated to strictly enforce the orders by NGT, that is National Green Tribunal, and also Supreme Court on keeping vehicles older than 10 years for diesel vehicles and older than 15 years for petrol vehicles off the road. So those vehicles which are older than 10 years and older than 15 years, okay, 10 years in case of diesel vehicles and then 15 years in case of petrol vehicles, they must have to be kept off the road. They are banned in the road. Okay, so these things has to be strictly adhered to. Okay, next is stage 2, that is air quality index between 301 to 400. So measures to curb air pollution at hotspot, this is taken when this threshold is exceeded. Okay, and then diesel generators of more than 19 kilowatt cannot be used unless they run on dual fuel or they have emission control devices. Only if they have dual fuel or if they are having emission control devices, they are allowed, else they are not allowed. Okay, and the range here and the limit here is 19 kilowatt diesel generators they are talking about. Okay, and then stage 3, what is this? When the air quality index exceeds, I mean is within this range, that is 401 to 450. Okay, and then here BS3, that is Bharat stage 3 petrol. Okay, Bharat 3 stage petrol vehicles, and then Bharat stage 4 diesel vehicles, that is private cars, are to be banned in this national capital region, and then schools will also be likely closed for children up to class 5. Okay, so even if stage 3 is reached, then school children up to class 5 are, I mean they need not go to school. Okay, the school is closed for them. Next is stage 4. This stage, an 8 action plan, I mean an 8-point action plan has been created for this stage only. Okay, that is stage 4. Here the range is over 450. If the air quality index is over 450, then that is stage 4. Here light commercial vehicles registered outside Delhi will be restricted except those that are electric vehicles or CNG vehicles or Bharat Stage 6 diesel vehicles. Okay, this is the standard that we are using now, that is Bharat Stage 6. Okay, next, vehicles carrying essentials or providing essential services can be allowed because essential items has to reach the general masses. Okay, and then educational institutions will likely be closed, and then non-emergency commercial activities and odd even vehicle policy may be rolled out. What is this odd even vehicle policy? Odd even vehicle policy means on alternate days odd numbered vehicles will be allowed, and on the other days even number vehicles will be allowed. Okay, so by taking this measures, they can control pollution by half. Okay, if all vehicles are allowed every day, then pollution will be maximum. So they are following this odd even scheme. Okay, so you must have to understand that also. So a question may be like this. Okay, so this odd even scheme is related to what? It is related to pollution control. Okay, a very basic question. Next is the 8-point action plan as per the stage 4 of graph. Okay, so what are all the 8 points? Let us understand this very quickly. Prohibiting the entry of truck traffic into Delhi except for transporting essential goods and services, along with LNG, CNG and electric trucks. So LNG, CNG and electric trucks are allowed, but then other trucks are not allowed into Delhi. Okay, we are completely talking about the Delhi rules only here. Okay, next is restricting non-Delhi registered light commercial vehicles to enter Delhi. This is also there, and unless they are electric vehicles, CNG vehicles or Bharat Stage 6 diesel, which we already saw this point. Okay, except for essential service carriers. Okay, next is banning the operation of Delhi registered diesel medium goods vehicle. Okay, even Delhi registered vehicles are being banned, and even heavy goods vehicles are banned. Again, the exception is transporting essential items. For transport of essential items, vehicles are allowed, else they are not allowed. Okay, and then imposing a prohibition on construction and demolition activities, which is again a huge contributor to pollution in Delhi. Okay, so not only in Delhi, even elsewhere. Okay, so prohibition on construction and demolition activities in linear public projects like highways, roads, flyovers, power transmission and pipelines. All these activities are prohibited when stage 4 is reached, that is air quality index crosses 450 range. Okay, next is advising to transition physical classes for grade 6 to 9 and then 11 to online mode. Okay, they are excluding standard 10 and standard 12 here. Okay, because they will be having board exams, that is why they are exempted from here. So already even in stage 3 itself, in stage 3 itself, class 1 to 5 they need not come to school. Okay, the school is closed for those kids. Okay, and then when stage 4 is reached, then standard 6 to 9 and then standard 11 students will be given online mode of classes. Okay, next is directing to consider allowing 50% capacity in public, municipal and then private offices, with the remainder working remotely. Okay, next is empowering even the central government to decide on work from home protocols for employees in central government offices. Okay, this can also be done, and encouraging state government to contemplate additional emergency measures like closure of educational institution, non-essential commercial activities, and then implementing an odd even vehicle registration number scheme. Okay, we already discussed about this odd even vehicle registration number scheme. On alternate days odd number, and on other days even numbers. Okay, so that is how it will be. One day odd number, the other day even number registration number. Such vehicles only will be allowed here. Okay, so this is what we need to know here.